From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang. Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. called on Filipinos to translate their faith into concrete action using the occasion of Easter Sunday to emphasize the need for compassion, solidarity, and inclusive governance in facing the country's challenges. In a statement marking one of the most significant days in the Christian calendar, the President said, "The resurrection of Jesus Christ is not just a symbol of hope, but a mandate to uplift the lives of others, especially those buried in death, in hunger, and in silence." In his official Easter Sunday message, President Marcos said, "The triumph of Easter Sunday is not just a celebration filled with hope and aspiration for a better tomorrow, but also a testament to the victory of life over death, hope over despair, and light over darkness." Easter, celebrated by millions of Catholic Filipinos across the country, commemorates the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. It marks the culmination of Holy Week and serves as a time of spiritual renewal and national reflection. With roughly 80% of the population identifying as Roman Catholic, Easter remains deeply woven into the country's cultural and religious identity. President Marcos's message moved beyond traditional greetings, urging the faithful to embrace active faith that translates into policy and governance. Meanwhile, Defense Secretary Gilberto Chodoro Jr., in his Easter Sunday message, said, "The resurrection of Christ is a reminder that hope and redemption will prevail even in the face of hardship and despair." He also honored the uniformed men for their selfless service. For his part, House Speaker Martin Romualdez said, "The resurrection of Jesus Christ is not only a triumph over death, but a reminder that no sorrow is final and no burden is carried alone." Romualdez added that everyone should move forward not only with hope, but with a deeper sense of responsibility to care for one another and to build a country that lifts every life and leaves no one behind.
Dateline Malacañang.
10 more Filipinos in Cambodia have been safely repatriated, the Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, said Sunday as it renewed its call to the public to be on guard against dubious overseas job offers online. The repatriates from Odar Mianche province in northwestern Cambodia returned home with the help of Cambodian law enforcement authorities and the Philippine Embassy in Phnom Penh. Last week, 26 Filipinos who were working for a company in the same Cambodian province were repatriated upon their request. It was not immediately clear if the Filipinos were victims of human trafficking, but the DFA reiterated its reminder against dubious job opportunities peddled on social media. Representatives from the Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW, Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, or OWA, and the Interagency Council Against Trafficking, or IACAT, received the repatriates at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal 1 in Parañaque City. The DFA said the embassy in Phnom Penh covered the cost of the repatriation using its Assistance to Nationals or ATN fund. The group was brought to the Cambodian capital on Saturday following a 9-hour land journey. Upon arrival at the immigration headquarters in Phnom Penh, the Philippine Embassy's ATN team provided them with hot meals and care packages. The Philippine Embassy expressed its profound appreciation to the Royal Government of Cambodia for the favorable attention given to the Philippine government's representations.
Dateline Malacañang.
The Marcos administration's commitment to justice came to the fore anew with the swift arrest of the suspects in the killing of Filipino-Chinese businessman Anson Kie and his driver. Suspects Richard David, Raymart Catequista, and Chinese national David Tan Yao are already in the custody of the Philippine National Police or PNP anti-kidnapping group. Speaker Martin Romualdez commended the PNP under the leadership of General Romel Marbil for showing its commitment to the rule of law and due process, as well as President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. for backing law enforcement agencies in tracking down and apprehending the suspects. In a news release, Romualdez said, "The commitment to quickly resolve this case is a testament to President Marcos's strong leadership and commitment to keeping communities safe." According to the PNP report, Liao surrendered and admitted his involvement on Saturday, while the other two were arrested in Palawan province on Friday. Ke, also known as Anson Tan, and his driver Armani Pabilio went missing March 29th after leaving the former's office in Valenzuela City. A $20 million ransom was demanded the next day. Despite negotiations, the victims were killed. Their bodies were found in Rodriguez, Rizal Province on April 9th. Romualdez credited the arrest to the PNP's coordinated efforts, which included cyber monitoring, closed-circuit television footage analysis, and forensic work. Police are probing potential links to Philippine offshore gaming operators or POGOs, although Ke's family strongly denied it. Two other foreign nationals believed to be key figures in the crime remain at large.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. last week joined the country in mourning the passing of national artist for film Nora Honor or Nora Cabaltera Villamayor in real life, calling the cinema icon a gift to the Filipino nation. In a statement, the president said that throughout her splendid career that spanned more than 50 years, she was our consummate actress, singer, and film producer. According to her son, actor Christopher Ian De Leon, the 71-year-old national artist died on Wednesday evening. The president acknowledged Honor's scintillating career that saw her starring in highly acclaimed movies and garnering various acting awards both here and abroad. President Marcos said, at the young age of 23, she began producing films that will forever be part of the national heritage, such as Banawe, Bona, and Tatlong Taong Walang Diyos. The chief executive urged the public to pray for the eternal repose of the soul of the country's national artist. Known as the superstar of Philippine cinema, Honor starred in 170 films and was a recipient of various awards and citations from local and international organizations. She was elevated to the FAMAS Hall of Fame in 1992 and received the Film Academy of the Philippines or FAP Lifetime Achievement Award the following year. In 2022, she was named National Artist for Film and Broadcast Arts under Proclamation number 1390, signed by then President Rodrigo Duterte.
Dateline Malacañang.
In other news, the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development, or DHSUD, wants to expedite projects in the National Capital Region, or NCR, under President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s flagship Pambansang Pabahay para sa Pilipino program, or 4PH, as turnover of completed units continues in the regions. This as DHSUD Secretary Jose Rizalino Acuzar noted that there are already ongoing 4PH projects in the NCR, while dozens of other projects are now in advanced stages of construction and development in regions outside the metropolis. In fact, turnover of actual housing units under 4PH have already started and are now continuing in the cities of Palayan and Bacolod. Meanwhile, 4PH projects in San Mateo, Rizal, in the city of San Fernando in Pampanga, Davao City, and Tagoloan, Misamis Oriental, have already completed some buildings and are now preparing to turn them over to beneficiaries. Secretary Acuzar said DHSUD has identified priority blighted areas in NCR that are envisioned to be transformed into sustainable township developments. Among the ongoing 4PH projects in the metropolis are in Caloocan City with 2, the City of Manila, Quezon City, and San Juan City. In Pasay City, the DHSUD has already established a staging area that will temporarily shelter ISFs that will eventually benefit from 4PH project in the area. Other LGUs in the capital region have already signed Memoranda of Understanding with DHSUD expressing intent to join 4PH, including the cities of Pasig, Muntinlupa, Mandaluyong, Marikina, Navotas, Parañaque, Valenzuela, and Malabon. Before the Holy Week break, Secretary Acuzar inspected the ongoing Port Town housing project in Parola, Tondo. He was accompanied by Pag-ibig Fund Chief Executive Officer Marilyn Acosta and Social Housing Finance Corporation President Federico Laksa. The housing czar proceeded to the 4PH project site in Quezon City. Secretary Acuzar directed those in charge of the 2 projects to expedite the construction without compromising quality and standards.
Dateline Malacañang.
Meanwhile, the Philippine government has signaled its strong intent for a strategic economic alignment with the United States amid global challenges during the visit of a bipartisan U.S. congressional delegation to Manila. In a meeting with U.S. Senator Pete Ricketts of Nebraska, Senator Chris Coons of Delaware, and Senator Ted Budd of North Carolina last week, Department of Trade and Industry or DTI Secretary Cristina Roque said, Manila is open to forge deeper engagement with the U.S. as a strategic economic partner in an increasingly complex global environment. In a statement dated April 16th, the DTI said, more than a diplomatic courtesy, the engagement served as a strong signal of intent that the Philippines is ready to pursue strategic alignment with the United States as a pathway to greater economic security, innovation-led development, and mutual prosperity. Also present during the visit, a first under the new Trump administration, were Transportation Secretary Vince Dizon, Energy Secretary Rafael Lotilla, Information and Communications Technology Secretary Henry Roel Aguda, and Finance Secretary Ralph Recto. Roque said Manila is keen on bolstering cooperation in critical sectors, including clean energy, digital infrastructure, transport modernization, and fiscal sustainability. In 2024, the U.S. imported $14.2 billion from the Philippines, a 6.9% increase from the 2023 level, while exports to the Philippines during the same year reached $9.3 billion. According to the DTI, the U.S. accounted for 17% of Philippine exports in 2024. Key imports from the Philippines are semiconductor devices and computer peripherals, automobile parts, electric machinery, textiles and garments, wheat and animal feeds, coconut oil, and information technology business process outsourcing services. U.S., meanwhile, exports agriculture goods, machinery, cereals, raw and semi-processed materials for the manufacture of semiconductors, electronics, and transport equipment. The landmark 123 Agreement, or the U.S.-Philippines Agreement for Cooperation in Peaceful Uses of Nuclear Energy signed in 2023, also entered into force last year. It allows the transfer of information, nuclear material, equipment, and components directly between the two states.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine Department of Foreign Affairs or DFA Secretary Enrique Manalo and United States Ambassador to the Philippines Mary Kay Carlson will lead the opening of the biggest military exercise between both countries, the Balikatan or Shoulder to Shoulder 2025. The exercise will not only show its physical prowess, but also the strong cooperation and alliance with other countries in the Indo-Pacific region. The opening of the Balikatan exercises will be held in Camp Aguinaldo in Quezon City on Monday morning, wherein Filipino soldiers will join troops from America and Australia. According to Balikatan Exercise Director and Spokesperson Brigadier General Michael Lohico, around 14,000 soldiers will initially join the exercises. This will also include observers from Canada, Germany, and the United Kingdom. Among the highlights of the exercise are the integrated air and missile defense, maritime strike and counter-landing live fire exercises, which is part of a wider combined joint all-domain operations. Balikatan 2025 will also feature the multilateral maritime event, which for the first time will be joined by the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force.
Dateline Malacañang.
With its target of strengthening peace and truth in the country, the Philippine National Police or PNP officially formed two new committees, the Joint Anti-Kidnapping Action Committee or JAKAC and the Joint Anti-Fake News Action Committee or JAFNAC. Police Lieutenant General Edgar Alan Ocubo, Deputy Chief PNP for Investigation or TDCI, will lead the JAKAC that will focus on identifying, suppressing, and neutralizing organized kidnap for hire operations in the country. Meanwhile, Police Lieutenant General Robert Rodriguez, Deputy Chief PNP for Operations or TDCO, will head the JAFNAC that aims to fight the worsening problem of spreading wrong information and disinformation to the public. PNP Chief Police General Romel Francisco Marbil said, "These are not only new committees. These are concrete steps to address modern threats." Marbil added that the PNP is moving to protect the public from kidnap-for-hire syndicates up to fake news campaigns. JAKAC was established following the successful solving of the case of abduction and killing of Filipino-Chinese businessman Anson Ke and his driver Armani Pabilio, a crime that was planned and believed to be instigated by a Chinese national named David Tan Yao. General Marbil praised the Special Investigation Task Group, or SITG, which was headed by Police Lieutenant General Okubo, because of the quick coordination and effective response. Besides kidnapping cases, another challenge is the spread of fake news. This past week, news of other abductions of businessmen spread on social media, which was refuted by the PNP as baseless. In response, the JAFNAC was created, headed by Police Lieutenant General Rodriguez. This aims to strengthen coordination and strategy to fight fake news in all platforms. According to Marbil, the creation of the new committees is a response to the call of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. to deliver new and humane governance. The PNP believes that safe, trusted, and awareness of the public is key to the development of the country.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, the historical tri-country port visit of the Philippine Coast Guard, or PCG's BRP Gabriela Silang, successfully concluded with its final destination at Da Nang City, Vietnam. From April 14th to the 17th, PCG Captain Eliezer Ibarrientos led the mission that strengthened the collaboration of the Philippines and Vietnam in terms of maritime cooperation. Among the activities were courtesy calls, professional exchanges, and joint search and rescue exercise along with the Vietnam Coast Guard, which proved the strong cooperation for a safe and secure waters. The port visit follows the earlier visit to Thailand and Malaysia and is part of the continuing coordination under the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN Coast Guard Forum. This Monday, BRP Gabriela Silang will sail back home, which brought with them strong relationship, experience, and a new promise towards a safe and organized region.
Dateline Malacañang.
And that concludes today's edition of Dateline Malacañang. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.